the work of art in the Age of
Metaverse Reproduction.
Essay 10. To photograph a painting is one kind of reproduction, but to photograph an action performed in a
Studio setting.
is another. In the first case, what is reproduced is a work of art, while the act of producing it is not. The cameraman's performance with the lens no more creates an artwork than a conductor's with the baton. At most, it creates an artistic performance. This is unlike the process in a
Social media video content.
Here, what is reproduced is not an artwork, and the act of reproducing it is no more such a work than in the first case. The work of art is produced only by means of montage, and each individual component of this montage is a reproduction of a process which neither is an artwork in itself nor gives rise to one through photography. What then are these processes reproduced in film, since they are certainly not works of art? To answer this, we must start from the peculiar nature of the artistic performance of the
Content creator
He is distinguished from the stage
or film.
actor in that his performance in its original form, from which the reproduction is made, is not carried out in front of a randomly composed audience, but before
An algorithm, the visual content superseded by hashtags, metadata and other datafied search engine aids.
This aspect of
Creation,
is highly significant in social terms. For the intervention in a performance by a
an algorithm,
is also characteristic of
online video content,
and, in a wider sense, of all.
social media,
The entire process of
content creation.
is determined, in fact, by such intervention. As
With traditional filmmaking,
many shots are filmed in a number of takes. A single cry for help, for example, can be recorded in several different versions. The editor then makes a selection from these. In a sense, he establishes one of them as the record. An action performed in
a studio setting,
therefore differs from the corresponding real action, the way
a live stream would,
differ from
a mediated, pre-recorded and edited post, real or story.
the first is a test performance, while the second is not. The
Live
test performance of the
content creator,
is, however, entirely unique in kind. In what does this performance consist? It consists in crossing a certain barrier which confines the social value of test performances within narrow limits. I'm referring now not to a performance in
purely physical world,
but to a performance produced in a
digital environment,
in a sense
a creator.
is confronted only by natural tests. He measures himself against tasks set by nature, not by equipment. Apart from exceptional cases like
Rachel Rossin, whose work critically responds to technology and society.
meanwhile, the
Creation,
process, especially since it is
subverted by the algorithm,
daily generates countless mechanized tests. These tests are performed unawares, and those who fail are excluded from,
shares, views, or potentially even becoming trending topics.
but they are also conducted openly.
Terms and conditions indeed meet the conditions of being explanatory and transparent.
In both cases, the test subject faces the barrier mentioned above. These tests, unlike
Actions performed in the physical world will never be
publicly exhibited to the degree,
a creator's gratification addictions would desire.
and this is precisely where
Content creation,
comes into play.
online video streaming
Makes test performances capable of being exhibited,
by means of platform affordances. The content creator,
performs not in front of an audience, but in front of an apparatus.
device and software occupy almost
Exactly the same position as the
director in a film studio.
to perform in the glare of
Ring lights,
while simultaneously meeting the demands of the microphone is a test performance of the highest order. To accomplish it is to preserve one's humanity in the face of the apparatus. Interest in this performance is widespread. For the majority of
internet users,
throughout the workday in offices and factories have to relinquish their humanity in the face of an apparatus. In the evening, these same masses
stare at their phones.
to witness the
Content creator,
taking revenge on their behalf, not only by asserting his humanity, or what appears to them as such, against the apparatus, but by placing that apparatus in the service of his triumph.